All right, happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday. Woo! We made it through the second week of April. Wow. I just skipped a month, went back in time, and yeah. Welcome to the end of the second week of May, which means we're halfway through May, which is crazy already. But we're going to have good times on this Friday, starting with, because graffiti's coming up soon here in Modesto. So Isaiah's hitting those cars, and here is Isaiah with his cruising car review.
Hey everyone, it's Isaiah here for another cruising car review. And today I'm going to review a interesting car from out of this world from space called the UFO. The UFO is one of the unlockable hidden vehicles in Cruisin' Blast Nintendo Switch version. It's part of the game's wilder, more over-the-top roadster that includes things like a unicorn, triceratops, and more alongside normal cars. To get the UFO, you usually have to unlock it by earning gold in the UFO Tour, a set of themed tracks in Cruisin' Blast, then purchase it with in-game cash or keys. The UFO isn't a standard car. It looks like a classic flying saucer and drives accordingly, giving it a fun, floaty feel compared to the other racers. It's one of the craziest ride options you can unlock and fits the game's arcade style of having fantastical and unexpected vehicles alongside real ones. UFO. This out-of-this-world racer is a fully playable flying saucer in Cruisin' Blast, unlocked by conquering the UFO Tour and perfect for your wildest races.
Okay, I don't know that you're gonna see one of those during the graffiti parade or during any of the graffiti car events, but, well, you never know. I mean, could be. Technically, anything that flies through space is an unidentified flying object. In fact, it's unidentified, so is it actually flying? The term UFO is actually kind of like weird. Unidentified flying object. If it's unidentified, is it an object? It's kind of like, yeah, maybe thinking too much on the words. But hey, UFOs, in our general thinking, it is a vehicle. You could technically travel on it if it was a vehicle. So anyway, that is the Cruisin' UFO review. Yeah, if you're cruising in a UFO these days, there you go. All right, next up, Epic Games with Gary.
Hi everybody, welcome to the next episode of, oh crap, I got it backwards. Welcome to the next episode of free games to the Epic Games Store, or whatever it's called. Today we have two games. The cool thing about the ones they've been having lately, and they will be having for like the next couple of weeks, is you don't know what they are until the day of. Like I couldn't look at this the previous day and there'd be something, or like last week, like normally I can, and tell you what it's going to be next week. Now, the day of, you know what it is. That's kind of cool. It's like a, opening a present. There you go. And right now they're having a sale at Epic Games. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but go to the Epic Games Store. There's stuff on sale if you're interested. But I'm not here for that. I'm here for their free stuff. All right. So this week we have two free games. Both of them, I'm so glad that we didn't do last week's. No, this week's are awesome. first one is called Thunderfolk Standard Edition. Thunderfolk is a tactical RPG, turn-based, where you're like, you do your moves, they do their moves. This one is beautiful. I don't know much about the game itself, I'll be honest. I'm familiar with turn-based games. I've played my share of them. This one is kind of along the same lines as other turn-based games. Fantasy... What is adventure? Looks fantasy-ish. Yeah, it's fantasy, but it's really beautifully rendered fantasy. So you're going to want to have at least some kind of graphics card in your computer for this one. I would not suggest trying to use onboard graphics. You want to use as best a graphics that you can get a hold of, better than it requires, more than less than it requires. Less than it requires would be the graphics card that came with a standard computer. You're going to want one that's going to have it like maybe 1 gig of RAM at least. All right. For this one, normally a $50 game. Okay. Beautifully rendered tactical RPG, normally $50, $0. Okay. So get Thunderfolk Standard Edition. But that's not the big one I want to talk about today. And unfortunately, this one is what it is. But the second one they're giving away is called Telltale Batman Shadows Edition. Yes, a Batman game. Yes, Connor, a Batman game. Telltale games, though, it's not like you're playing the character the entire time. You play the character, they tell a little bit of story. You play the character, they tell a little story. But the difference between this one is it's the Shadows Edition, and the Shadows Edition, it's colored a little bit. They went in, they redid the colors. It's a little bit darker. According to this, mature, 17 plus, violence, blood and gore, sexual themes, use of drugs, and language. So don't expect your standard Batman here. This one is quite a bit darker. Okay, quite a bit darker, but it is beautifully rendered. That is the number one thing to get this game. It is a beautiful game. You'll be playing through. You'll be able to play a version of Batman that looks better than some of the earlier versions of the games where you got to play the entire character, right? Not just a Telltale version. But this one is beautiful. This one is worth the $0 you're paying for it. Normally, it's a $30 game, $29.99. But for now, until next week, you'll be paying $0. And next Thursday, they'll be uncovering 2 more free games. So we'll find out about those next Friday, ideally. But this week, definitely get Telltale Batman Shadows Edition and Thunderfolk Standard Edition 2.0, which means it's already out. It's a release. It's not like still in early access. Get them both. See you next week.
Thank you, Gary, for the epic games. They're always epic, and maybe it was a UFO one. Who knows? All right, next up, National Day with Gabrielle.
Hello, everybody. It's Friday. Yay! The 15th. That means we're right in the, well, kind of, sort of, in the middle, but maybe tonight it's the middle of the month because there's 31 days this month, so gotta half it there. So, but it is Friday. It is midway through, and the National Day is National Peace Officer Memorial Day. That's when I don't want to say celebrate, but we honor police officers that have given their life in one way or another for our cities, our countries, our state, and we also support the police officers that are there every day keeping us safe. I know some people have a problem with a police officer sometimes, or they think ill or whatever, but you call 911 and they're there. You can always count on a police officer being there. And we need to know that when they do lose their life in the line of duty, it's part of their job. You know, I know this sounds off topic to some people, but you know, you go to a job and your boss asks you to do something and you don't want to do it. You can't ask a police officer not to do that, because what could happen? Not great things. So they have to go in and do not great things. My daughter is engaged to a police officer, and I've heard a few stories, and he usually doesn't share too much because he just doesn't want people to have to know all the crap and the gore and the stupidity that he sees out there, but he's always there on every call that he gets sent on to. So we need to be mindful and appreciate our police department and all of the officers, the men and women who serve and protect us every day. So that's what today it is. So if you see a police officer, tell them thank you.
Ah, that's a very nice one. Peace Officers Memorial Day. Yeah, it's something that we don't forget. Memorial Day is coming up soon. Something that we don't forget, something that we should not forget is, the great men and women of law enforcement that take care of, that really do a job that not a lot of people want to do, and it's not an easy job. It's a job that you got to want to do and care about doing, and maybe not always done right, but by and large, it's an important part of our society, and we should be thankful for those men and women, law enforcement and the fire department, all those kind of paramilitary organizations that keep us safe, protected, and so very cool. Good National Day there. Next up, nostalgia with Zach. Let's see if we can be 2 for 2 this week, Zach.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Nostalgia. And today we're going to talk about the first Disney princess that came out in the 1930s. Oh yeah, we're definitely going back to nostalgia on this one. It is, I think, the first popular Disney movie Disney has ever done. I think you know what I'm talking about. It is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, this movie came out in 1937. That is a very long time ago. None of us were even born yet. But maybe our great-grandparents were born during that time. And probably they watched it, don't you think? But, all in all, it's a good movie. I don't know if they still have it on DVD though. But if they still do you guys still have it? Let me know in the comments. But enough of me talking. I hope you enjoy this nostalgia.
Ah, Seven Dwarfs, nice. Disney, love Disney. And yeah, I'm not actually, my wife is a bigger fan of the Seven Dwarfs than I am, Snow White and all that. Great story. I think the part I don't like is the singing. Yeah, the singing. I'm not a singing kind of guy in the movies, musicals, but this is a really good movie. And the Whistle While You Work song, it's actually one of the songs I do like. Yeah. I love Dopey. Dopey's great. He reminds me of me. Yeah. All right, nice job, Zach. We are simpatico 2 for 2 this week. Very good. That's a great way to end the week. But we're going to end the week with a little bit of laughter because I wasn't pulling that one off. Christina's jokes right here.
Hey, who is raising laughter jokes on a May on a Friday? What does a nosy pepper do? It's hollow no business. Why do mushrooms get invited to all the parties? Because they are such fun guys. Why did the goblin bring 2 pairs of pants? In case you got a hole in one, you all have a good weekend, so take care, bye!
Wow. All right, Christina. Digging deep on that one, which is great. Digging really deep on that one. But a good one for sure. One I've never heard before, so that's great. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Friday. We'll see you next week on The Morning Routine. Take care, everybody.